Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Cloud Box. This is the part 2 of the parameterization inside Azure Data Factory. In the part 1, I have discussed about how we can parameterize the path on the dataset level, and in this video I am going to next part how we can parameterize the path on the pipeline level. So first go and understand the requirement. So as you know what is the parameterization, what is the dynamic content. If you do not know, I request you go to my part 1 video inside the Azure Data Factory playlist. You will find it, and I will also give the I button link for that video. So quickly jump to the requirement. We have our storage account type blob or ADLS. The second step, we need to take the records from a raw folder or landing folder. That is, the data is going to land, and do some transformation on file. You can do the transformation using Databricks also, and you can use the data flows. I haven't uploaded any video on data flow, but in this video I'll give a quick intro, and after that I'll be starting the data flow playlist also. So we can see how we can do a simple transformation, and after load the data into destination. Destination could be anything, either is it Azure SQL DB or ADLS or any DB, any other database. Okay, anything, right? You want to save the data in CSV file format only, or you just load the data to Azure SQL DB or any other database as per your requirement. So we understood it. So how we will parameterize, like if we have to run the same pipeline and maybe file is in the different place, or maybe we need to store the file in the ADLS in a different folder, so that will not static, that will not be hard coded, it will be a runtime activity. We will decide the path at the runtime. Okay, so hope you understood the requirement. Now quickly we'll go to Azure, and here we are going to create our data flow first. We will see what is the data flow. So you will click the pencil icon, and inside the pencil icon there are a lot of activity will come. So we'll go to data flow. Data flow is very powerful tool given by the data factory. Inside the data factory you can do 89 approximately all works apart from streaming works inside the data flow for the transformation. So the moment you will click it, let me remove this, it will come like this. Only you need to click on the add source, you will see source 1 will reflect. So let me quickly tell the overview. The source setting, inside that you will choose the data flow. Here you will give the name. There is inline data set, that would be kind of XML JSON format you can define, but that is fine, we'll discuss it later, it's not part of right now. Here you will choose the data set. So we have already defined many data sets, so here we will define the ds underscore csv which we have created earlier for the dynamic purpose. So please ensure if you are making parameterization on pipeline level, so that data set also need to be parameterized first. But it here many allow schema deft, these many things will come. Go to source option. You can click on multi-row enable. That is really important. Why? Suppose a certain field having more character. So maybe on a certain limit, it will come in a single row. If that character will be exceed, I guess 250 or more, so it will split in a next line. So your record be not in the proper format. So we will click multi-row enable. So that will not affect you, and that is the projection. Okay. So we'll come to on this optimize. We can set the single partition, set partition, current partition, inspect, we will see the data type and all, and the data preview. So first me quickly, once you open it, so this data flow will option will be disabled. So now once if you click on data preview, it will not allow to preview the data. So for this you need to enable it. Now here is the data flow activity you can do. You can do join, you can do conditional split, you can do exist transformation whether the data is existing or not, you can do union, you can do lookup, you can do derive column. This is very important activity. All the logical operation you will do inside derived column activity, string operation, all the mathematical string logical everything, whatever the operation you do in SQL, you will do it inside the derived column activity. This is the select transformation. It will nothing, it will do, it will only select the required columns or all the columns whatever you required. Aggregate transformation, you would know, mean, max, count, average. Surrogate key, it will going to initialize the sequential value with all the records. P button, B button, you know. Window function, we can use it. Rank, external call, cast, we can use it. Flatten, parse, this stringify, this is basically used for the array. I will not go in detail. So there are a hell lot of things you can do with the data flow. All the things you can do with SQL, you can obviously you can do with data flow without using Databricks. You can completely, and it is really code free thing. You do not need to do the unit testing as well, and behind the scene it will run the Spark code only, but you do not need to write a code. Even in a single line only you will write and it will do the job for you. So quickly take a select transformation. I'm planning to start I will quickly start uh, data flow from the next video, and here I will cover each and every activity inside that. Here you can see the skip duplicate input column, skip output column, and we'll take, and now we need to store our results, so we can store inside the sink. We can select again data CSV. We can give the name, incoming name, that is the select one, you can change it every time. That means incoming before which activity is attached. Now this topic I will come later, but quickly I need to show you. We'll go to the debug setting. Actually it is consuming time, but this is the first time, so I am showing you. This is our storage, right? Suppose there is one folder main. Inside main there is landing and our file is present. So give file system name main and landing. Okay. And for the sync you can give anything, because we are not, because it is the write operation. So write operation will be defined after the run. So just click on save. Now that we want, right, so we need to import the projection. Click on import projection. It is taking time, but yeah, let it takes. Fine. So although it was not required, but yeah. So you can see, right, all the columns came here, right? You can see this, and you can see the select transformation. What it will do, it will just, you can change the name also from here, reason one, but we'll cover it later. Just okay. So you have created your data flow. Just publish the change. Now we have to run it, right? Because this is the data flow, you transformed your data, but this requires engine, right? So engine is pipeline. So just click name of a pipeline. I'm giving a PLVTL because I'm not finding any name. So here you need to remember we are using copy activity every time, right? But here we uh, here I need to take a data flow. We'll select data flow from here, which we have created, and now understood the logic. We have a main container, right? A main container, right? Inside main, we will have our subfolder called landing. Here our file will be present. Now we need to copy inside main only, but in staging, right? This the approach we are following, right? And this is the constant value, but right. So we will first understood what we need. We need to add inside the parameters always, right? So we will pass the file system here. Got it? Now again we need to add the another one. So we will add the, we have covered staging, and inside the main, this is the constant and this is the file system, and we need to add staging, right? We will add staging, and we will add landing. You can give any name, but here it will reflect like that. Now come to setting. Okay, we are good. For the file system, we will select file system. The moment you select it, everything will be done by Azure Data Factory itself. There is a direct coming, and this direct reflects the activity from the dataset. Go and click it, and direct is nothing. It is, we are taking the data. One second, we have a file system, right? The file system would be main, and this direct we need to choose landing because this is the source, and for the sync we need to again select the file system, and here we need to select staging. Good. Now publish it. So you understood the requirement. Let me delete if already present. You can see in the main there is a main folder. Inside main we have a landing. Inside landing we have a file present called order.csv, and this file needs to be copied under inside main in one folder is staging. If folder will be not present, the new folder will be created. Now simply run it. To running this, you need to enable it. Otherwise, you can choose the integration run. Just click on debug mode. Now this is the value this is passing. It is runtime. You are designing it runtime. File system name is main. We need to copy the data in staging. This is the temporary name staging. You can give it any name, but I just keep it to understand, like in staging we have to pass staging, and the landing we need to pass landing. Okay, we are good. Pass and run it. Okay, we have successfully copied. So let us go and see whether staging is created or not. We can see staging. We have successfully copied the data, right? We have successfully copied the data. If you have already worked with the Databricks, so this file will be come with the partition, but the okay, and see the column name. If you want to preview the data, just click it. You can see region, country, and this thing will come. Okay, so now what, suppose someone is saying that that's fine, you have copied inside staging, but I want to data with today's date. Today's date. Okay. Why this? I mean, obviously you can copy the data, you can do some transformation, and then you just want to save the data with today's date, right? So we can add the timing also, but just quickly we are going to how we can approach it. So we nothing to do with source is fine. We have nothing to do with the file system because we need to first save the file inside main. That is fine, and then staging would be also fine. Then we need to create one folder inside stage. So if you know how the folder structure will look like, it will look like main, staging, and then suppose today's date. So right, I am following YYYYMMTD. So this we need to approach it. How we'll do it? So first go and remove it. So you can see, right, we need to add the path between. So you know the concat operation. So in the data factory pipeline also, all the logical operation string activity you can do it here also, concat. So inside concat we need to pass staging, right? We need to pass staging. Good. Now we know, right, the concatenation happened with comma. We'll give comma here, and we need to add this backslash, the forward slash. So but this is the string, so we need to put under message code. Then again we need to add comma. This comma will add this forward slash, and then after this comma will add to the today's date. So we have a function called UTC now. UTC now. This okay, but we want to add the today's date, right? So for that we need to use format date time, and we can keep like this y. Let me try if this is running or not, and here one parenthesis we can add. So if everything is fine, Let's understand. This is our staging. Before that, we need to use concat. After that, you will be adding this forward slash, and after that, you are adding this UTC now date function. Just add it. Now publish the change. Good. We are good enough. Now run it. Again pass. The file system name is main. Staging will be staging, and landing will be landing. So run it and quickly see whether everything is fine. So the file will be placed inside staging with today's date. Yeah, so it took 29 seconds and it copied. So you can see the path from here: input, output, and the data, the output. So just go to click and see the input. It took the reference of data flow 1 which we have created. Type is data flow reference. First parameter we have passed source, and it is going main, and inside landing it is doing some operation, and it is going to save inside main staging with today's date. We can see it, right? Fine. If we see the output, you can see these many records, these computation powers and all. This is coming. This you can see the column name, all coming in the JSON format. If you see the, you can see data flow runtime. It will give you these many things, these all the details. But we are fine whether we see our file was, because it is successful inside staging with today's date. We have successfully copied our data. Fine. Let me delete it. Let me delete everything from here. It is coming in the part name, right? And this is the approach only we follow inside the Databricks. But someone is coming and seeing that no, I want to give a proper file name to this file. So we'll go to setting. File name option is coming default. So we need to choose output to a single file. Always make sure if you are making output to a single file, we need to set single partition, because it is using the Spark cluster, and the behavior of Spark, it divides the file and then execute. So if you do so, your performance will be decreased. It will take much time, but for the smaller file we can always do it. So we can give new order.csv. Fine. Just publish. And now run it. Again need to pass the path, main, staging, and landing. Good enough. Run it. It got successful. Now go to main, staging, today's date, and you can see it is not coming in the part and the success message. So we have our file ready with our customized name. So hope you were able to understand it, and in the next video I'll be starting the data flow. So keep watching, keep sharing, and thank you for being with me.